Today we'll do a walkthrough of some booths at ECCMID in Barcelona. We're not connected to any of these booths. They're just some pictures that I took while walking the show hall during setup. So let's just jump right in. The first one we've got here is Moderna. Okay, I guess. It's a little bit odd in the sense that there's not really very much useful messaging on this booth. Even the name is actually, getting cut off here. That said, Moderna has a brand. Everyone kind of knows what Moderna does. So I guess it's, less critical for them to be like spot on in terms of messaging on here, but there's certain things that they could definitely improve on. So this is kind of weird, putting your name on a tight round banner like that. I mean, you're necessarily part of your name is always going to be not visible. Another thing that I see up here as I'm looking at this top portion is that this banner is actually hiding portions of this one. This QR. It's fine that there's a QR code there, but the issue is that it's really hard to see what it is. I can't even read it here. And surely someone from the aisle is also going to have trouble understanding why they're scanning that QR code. And once they're close enough, here, then it's really weird to be looking up like this to scan this code. This stuff here, I guess is for people to be standing right next to it, right? Because there's no way anyone can read that from the aisle. You've got these 3 chairs here. Maybe they're still waiting for a table to come in here. And overall, I'd say that the entryway to the booth is a little bit odd. It's kind of like this weird space right here. I guess looks like there's a screen right here on this side. So, I guess it gets the job done, but is it ideal? No, there's definitely some room for improvement. I mean, the red is nice. Yeah, like this red and here this, it's kind of eye-catching. So that's good. And surely they're going to get a lot of people coming in here talking to them. And no doubt, as Moderna, if you go to a show, it's going to be successful. Here's Beckman. This is pretty cool. I mean, pretty eye-catching here on these sides. I would say that maybe this middle banner or this sphere here in the middle isn't really necessary. It doesn't add any visibility. It doesn't look like it's very much higher than this. Right, you're not adding visibility with that. What I might suggest is to make these logos bigger, right now, and push them into the corners. Now you're getting visibility on both sides, and both of these are also visible back this way. So I don't think you really need this thing along with all this truss up here that's expensive. Just the thing that I notice about this is just this kind of void back here, and it's just kind of ugly. And I guess that there's nothing they can really do about that. This may be another booth. It's hard to tell. Actually, no, it's not. This flooring goes back here. So really, they should do something more back here, right? So that there's a place for your eyes to land back here. Maybe put a logo here. Maybe make this purple also. I think they've got a little bit of an odd shape back here, so they can't really do anything here. It looks like facility doors back there, but at least this part could be nicely lit, even extending out to here. And then, something a little bit more interesting right here, and move this toward the aisle so that there's a place for people to stop and circulate around a central thing. But overall, it's really quite nice. I mean, these screens right here and the logo, just the overall, the overall entry to that is done really nicely. Let's see, maybe we have room for 1 or 2 more here. Okay, SD biosensor. As I'm looking at this, okay, biosensor, and I see this picture right here. It looks like maybe it's an electronic thing or something that you put onto your body to, I don't know, give you a readout of your vital signs or something. I don't know. Yeah, so this somewhat wait, hold on. If I read this in more detail, let's check it. What does it say? all-in-one platform that can detect influenza, all this. Okay. All-in-one platform. But what does that mean? Simultaneous detection and okay, screening. This is somewhat confusing. What they need is just to say what this is right here. They really need their logo here and the description of what it is. Because you see this person here coughing and like, it's just, what is that doing for anyone? I don't know. Not sure that that's really useful. This one is kind of useful actually because it looks like she's putting something on her body here. Maybe that's what this is. Kidel Ortho. So, or something orthopedic. Oh no, this is the same company. Look, they've got this. Wait, no. That's this company over here. There. So this is a different one. Hold on. Let's see what they write here. When speed meets accuracy, the game of point-of-care diagnostics, play to win. Sorry, Kidel Ortho, I have no idea what it is that you do. The insightful cup. Very confusing. Like I look at a booth like this and I'm like, well, if I just look at this structure here and I'm just like, this is expensive. You have to make this, you have to transport it on site, you have to set it up on site, you have to take it down, and you have to take it back. Then after, does it get trashed or, like what's all the effort that was put into just even this structure right here? Really, you could put a fraction of that effort into really making it clear what you do, in this area right here, and have that be like a 10x, 20x, 50x payoff versus something like this, which actually blocks visibility and access into the booth. Let's do one more. Coyote, molecular diagnostics for everyone. Okay, this is not bad. I mean, molecular diagnostics, at least they have that. They have molecular diagnostics, and for everyone, maybe it's like, less expensive, just more accessible. Like, so this is not bad. Like these people, these Coyote people, they have used this. Well. They've got some brochure stands here. It's kind of weird that they're like on either side of this ramp. Okay, fine, but it's a detail. They have a screen here. The pioneer of POCT solution. All right, so if you're an expert in the field, you probably know what POCT is. So that's fine. And what about in here? Like, what does this say? Download brochures. Okay. All right. So I might suggest putting the QR code. I might suggest making this bigger, right? Downloading brochures, making this bigger, and then maybe putting it here. But that's the only thing. Otherwise, like, this is kind of a cool seating area here, just to have casual meetings. Then, like, if people are qualified, they can come sit back here. These graphics here, I don't think they're doing very much because the problem is that they're like over a seating area right here, which means that like people who would be reading it necessarily need to be far away. They're going to be here, at least on the other side of the seating area, which means that they're not going to be able to read all these details on here. So this is their missed opportunity right here, really. This whole thing should have been a graphic right here, and then they could have put some of the details a little bit lower, on maybe like a data sheet that would be sitting on the table, and then like have this to be like something adding on to this or supporting this. So that would be my take on how to improve this one for Coyote. I think that's all we have time for today. We'll do another one tomorrow.